Hey guys, it's Sarah and I am here with my September wrap up, and I cannot believe it's already the end of September. This is insane. This summer just completely flew by so fast. So, September was a good month for me. I read 4 books and I'm in the middle of 3 books right now. If you watched my September kind of mid-month video, it was kind of, this month kind of took a turn for me. I didn't really end up reading anything that I had in my TBR this month, but that's okay. I still did really good. 4 books and in the middle of 2 of them, that's pretty good. So let me go ahead and tell you what I read. I started out this month finishing up Rook by Sharon Cameron, and this was the Peruse-topia book club book of the month for August, but they pushed the live show to September, so it was kind of like an August-September book. And I was at the end of August, I was about 75% through it, and then I finished it up in the first couple of days of September. And I ended up liking it. I didn't love it. I gave it a 3 stars. And actually, Reagan and Sasha did too. They're the ones who head up the book club on Goodreads, and they both gave it the same star rating as well. I thought the idea of it was really cool. I thought that the world was really cool, and it actually was a regress society, but it was set in the future. So the only hints that we really got, though, was that it was set in the future, is that there were kind of mentions of things in our society right now, like CDs and cell phones and things like that, that they talked about people from the past using. So I was a little bit confused about the timeline up until that point hit, because I was like, oh, okay, so this is in the future, but it's regress. So I don't know. It didn't do a very good job explaining exactly what the timeline of it was. But the world was really cool, and it took a very, very long time for it to get kind of hit the apex of the story. And I was about 75% through when it really started picking up, and then I got to a point where I didn't want to put it down. But that was a little frustrating because it took 75% of the way through for me to get there. So I spent most of the book just thinking it was okay. So because of that, I gave it 3 stars. But overall, the story was good. I just think there were a few things they could have elaborated more on. For example, the main villain in this book was part of kind of a really weird religious thing where he prayed to goddesses, and his fortunes were told by flipping a coin, and just kind of really weird stuff. I wish there were more of that in there because I thought that was really interesting, but we didn't really get any background on that or anything like that. It was just kind of casually mentioned every now and then. But yeah, so 3 stars for me. It was okay. I liked it. I didn't love it. So yeah. And this one fulfills the prompt for my reading challenge here that I'm doing for a book set in a place that you've always wanted to visit. And it is set in Paris, even though it's a very regressed Paris. But just being in that city, I'm going to go ahead and count it for that prompt for my Pop Sugar reading challenge. The second book that I picked up was for the Book Buddy-a-thon, which I decided to, on a whim, join in on that readathon for the second week of September. And I picked up a book that fulfills the prompt for my reading challenge to read a book from your childhood. And then I ended up buddy reading this with Anna from the Anna edition, who we met on Twitter, and we decided to do the Book Buddy-a-thon readathon together. So this is my copy of Anna Green Gables. This is a bind-up. This has the first 3 books in the series, and the cover I had was actually kind of ugly, so I took it off, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of nice. It's brown, and it has gold on the spine, so I tossed it. So I read from here to here. It was about 240 pages for me of Anna Green Gables, and I loved it. This is obviously a reread. I read this when I was a child. I think I was like 10 or 11 when I read this first, and I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. The only reason I gave it 4 stars is because the last couple chapters were kind of dragging for me. I kind of felt it could have been wrapped up a little bit earlier. But yeah, I loved it. Anne is very overdramatic, and I kind of love that about her. She was just passionate. I guess passionate is a good word. And she just lived life to the absolute fullest or the absolute lowest, whatever she was feeling on that particular day. But I did love the book. It brought back a lot of memories of reading it and watching the miniseries that was on TV a while ago. I actually want to try to get my hands on that miniseries because as I was reading the scenes, I was picturing those. I was picturing the miniseries in my head because I remember watching it over and over and over. So, Anne Green Gables, loved it. And after that, I picked up another book for the Book Buddy-a-thon, and it was to read a book that was that your buddy had given 5 stars to. So when I looked through Anna's Goodreads page, I saw that she gave this book 5 stars, and I was very excited. So I picked it up, and that is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. And this is the compilation of 5 novellas that are prequel to the Throne of Glass book. So this is kind of Celaena's story leading up to exactly when Throne of Glass picks up. So, yes, 5 novellas in here, and I loved every single one of them. Some of them are shorter than others. Like, I think one of them was maybe 40 pages, and then the next one was like 100 pages. So they kind of varied in length a little bit, but they were so good. I love this series. It's one of my favorite series of all time. And I loved being back in the world again because it's been a while since I read any of the Throne of Glass books. So I loved it, loved it, loved it. I also gave it 5 stars. I couldn't put it down. I think I read this in 2 days, and it's a good, 400 something page book. So I really could not put this down. But yes, I love Celaena. I love her so much. And this one does fulfill a prompt for my reading challenge this year, and that is to read a book by an author that you love that you just haven't read yet. So I love Sarah J. Maas. She's one of my new favorite authors, and yeah, so I'm going to count that for that one. The book that I finished was Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wine, and this was actually our book club book, the physical one that I'm in here with some friends. It was our pick for September, so I went ahead and read that. And I liked it. I gave it, I believe, 4 stars on Goodreads. I'd have to double check. I think I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. There were parts of it that were confusing for me. This is a historical fiction. It's about 2 women who are serving in World War II, and they meet in the line of duty and end up becoming very, very good friends, and just kind of what happens there. I thought it was very interesting to see how women were treated back then. I'm not 100% sure how accurate it was, to be honest with you. But it was very interesting to see how women versus men were treated because one of them becomes a POW. So she had to go through some stuff. But it was very good. I really enjoyed it. There were a few things that were just a little bit confusing for me. I didn't quite understand how some of the storylines were tying together. But overall, I thought it was good. I thought the tone of it was well done, and the story overall was pretty good. So I did enjoy it. I don't want to give too much away because there are surprises in there, but yeah, I enjoyed it. So there is a second book. Like, I don't think it's a second, like a series thing. I think it's like a companion novel. I don't know if I'll pick that up, to be honest with you. I may not. But this one I did enjoy. And this one fulfilled a prompt for me for my reading challenge for a book that I own but have not read yet. So that was kind of an easy one for me because I have this on my Kindle. So got that. Okay, so those were the 4 books that I completed in the month of September, and now I have 3 books that I am currently in the middle of still. First one being Pride and Prejudice. This is the one I'm concentrating on right now. I actually ended up downloading this on my Kindle because you can download it for free. And this is just really hard to hold. It's a hardback. It's a beautiful book. It's absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. I love it. But when I'm sitting here trying to read it and hold it, it's very heavy. And the pages don't, it doesn't sit flat, and it's just kind of like I'm doing this and this, trying to see the words on the end, and it's just it was a little more of a hassle than I would have liked. So I just went ahead and downloaded it on my Kindle, and it's a lot easier to read on there. So that's where I'm currently reading it. I am, as of right now, today is the 28th, and I am 75% of the way through Pride and Prejudice, and I plan to finish it between today and tomorrow. I'm just going to go ahead and make time to sit down and just push through it and finish it. I am enjoying it very much. There's been a few points where I thought things were a little long-winded. I don't think Mr. Darcy did not need to write such a long letter. Like, for real. Get to the point, dude. Of course, that was their time period, but still, I found myself kind of glazing over a little bit in a few parts where just things were kind of over explained, I think. But other than that, I'm really enjoying it, and I am excited to push through and finish it. And this is going to fulfill a prompt for me for the reading challenge for a classic romance. So yes, that's what I'm going to be finishing, hopefully before the 1st of October. That's kind of my goal. I am also still listening to Outlander. I've been actually, I hurt myself in the past couple of weeks. I actually strained a muscle, my glute muscle. So I've been not going to the gym because I'm under doctor's orders not to do any strenuous anything like that. So I haven't been listening because of that, but every so often I do pick it up and start listening to it again, like when I'm grocery shopping by myself, or I just ran a bunch of errands and I had it, in my ear while I was doing that. So I'm kind of still making my way through it. I'm about 57% through now, and just really still just enjoying it. I'm happy that it's something that I don't feel like I need to rush through it. I'm really just taking my time and just really enjoying it, and it's making me super excited for the next season of Outlander to come on. I really hope it does soon. I think it's like a January show, but oh gosh, I miss it. And yeah, so I'm still enjoying that one. And the third book that I am going to finish after I'm done with Pride and Prejudice is A Beginner's Guide to Paradise. And this is one that I need to read for NetGalley for review. It is out already, so I gotta push through and finish it so that I can go ahead and get a review up. But this one is a nonfiction, and it is about a man who was an internet kind of CEO for like a website or something, and found himself really unhappy with where he was and what he was doing, and just wanted to change. And he ends up quitting his job and traveling to the South Pacific and kind of what he's doing there. And I think he was planning to go for a year, and I don't know if it ends up being more than that or not. But so far I'm enjoying it. I'm about 20% through right now. It hasn't fully grabbed me yet, but the stories he's telling are pretty good and things like that. So I'm excited to get back to it and kind of just immerse myself completely in it and get it finished. So that's going to be what I definitely concentrate on after I finish Pride and Prejudice. All right, so that's it for me. That's what I read the month of September. 4 books, and made progress in 2 of them. And then the other one, I only read 20% and then had to put it down. But I'm excited to get back to it. So that's it for me. All right, so I'm going to be back in a couple days with my October TBR, and that's going to be it for me. So leave me a comment and let me know what you guys are reading, what your favorite book of September was, what you plan to read in October. Are you going to plan to read anything scary? That's kind of October seems to be the month where everyone picks up horror books and stuff like that. But all right, so I will see you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.